Hello everybody and welcome back. In the previous video, we explored how to create and read records in Django using its ORM, or the Object Relational Mapper. Now in this lesson, we will complete the full CRUD cycle by learning how to update and delete records. We'll look at a few different ways to perform updates, including bulk updates and something called upserts. Then we'll see how to safely delete records, both single and multiple, using Django ORM. Finally, we'll work through two practical examples, one where we will update a book's publication year and another where we will delete completed tasks from a to-do list. So let's dive right in and complete our CRUD journey. We have already learned how to create and read records using Django ORM. Now it's time to learn how to update existing records and delete unwanted ones, two operations that are crucial for maintaining your database. Now CRUD stands for the four fundamental actions you can perform on data: create, adds new records, read, retrieves existing data, update, modifies what's already stored, and delete, removes records from the database. So let's begin with the update operation. Django provides several ways to update records. You can update a single record by fetching it, changing its fields, and saving it. You can update multiple records in a single go using the .update method. Or you can use the update or create, which updates if a record exists or creates it if it doesn't. This is also called upsert. Now let's look at these one by one. So let's look at updating a single record. Here we first fetch a book object using its ID in this example. Then we modify one of its fields, in this case the title, and finally call the save method to update the record in the database. This is the most common pattern when updating individual records. Next, let's say updating multiple records. Now sometimes you want to update many records at once. For example, here we are updating all books published before the year 2000, setting their title to classic book. Notice how we use the filter method to target specific records, followed by the .update method to apply the changes. This performs a bulk update directly in the database. Then we have update or create, which is also called upsert. Now Django provides this method called update or create. This checks if a record with the given title exists. If it does, then Django updates it. And if it doesn't, Django creates one. Now this is extremely useful when you are syncing data or inserting from external sources. Now let's talk a bit about handling exceptions. Always handle exceptions when performing updates. If the record doesn't exist, calling the .get will raise a does not exist error. So by using a try except block, we can catch this and avoid breaking our app. Next, let's learn how to delete records. Now deleting is irreversible, so Django makes it an explicit action. You have to call the .delete method manually. You can delete a single object, multiple filtered objects, or even all records from a table. Now to delete a single record, first retrieve it using the .get method and then call the .delete method. This immediately removes the record from your database. Then we have multiple and all record deletion. You can also delete multiple records that meet a condition. For example, deleting all tasks marked as inactive. And if you really need to, though it's rarely recommended, you can also delete all records in a table using the .all method followed by the .delete method. Now let's look at a couple of worked out examples on the CodeChef platform where we will see in action how to update records and also how to delete records. So here I am on the CodeChef platform and we have a worked out example here, which is update book publication year. So if I show you the file explorer here, you can see there is a book project. Under this we have a book app, and then we have the models.py defined for this app, and also we have the views.py file. Now let's take a look at the models.py file. Now in this models.py file, you can see the model that is defined, which is called book. Let me expand this. So here, as you can see, we have a class called book, which is the model, and then we have these three fields, which are title, author, and publication year, and they all have these data types, and max length for title and author are also given. So these are the three fields that we have in our book model. Now let's look at the views.py file. Now in the views.py file of our app, first of all, we have a function here which is called update book year demo. Now what this function does is, if the book object does not exist, it is going to create a new book. So first of all, we need to create a new book in order to update it. So for that demo, we are creating a new book object here. So book objects.create, and we say title of the book is Django Basics, author is Jane Doe, and publication year is 2018. Now coming below, we have this try except block, and here what we want to do is we want to change the publication year of the book whose ID equal to 1 to 2025. We first declare a variable called book in which we get the book whose ID is equal to 1. So if there is a book whose ID is equal to 1, that will be stored into this variable book. Now next, I want to just store the old publication year into this variable called old year, where I say book.publication year. So just the publication year, which was already there, is stored into this old year because this is something I want to display later. Now here is where the actual updation takes place. So here I say book.publication year equal to 2025. So the publication year of the book is changed to 2025, and then we have to save it. So I call book.save. Okay, and I'm displaying a message here saying updated book.title. So the title of the book is displayed here from old year. Now what is old year? This variable old year, we see that we stored the old publication year to book.publication year. Now this is the current publication year that we just updated. So that is what will be displayed here. Now we have an except block here which will work if the book does not exist. Okay, we were searching for the book with ID 1. Now if that book does not exist, it will give a message saying book not found. Now what we are doing is we are just rendering this view to the update demo.html template. Okay, and then we are also passing the message here as a context. And also we have a view for the home page where we rendered the home.html file. So here if you look at the templates folder, you can see we have the home.html, which is going to just display the home page and the update demo page as well. So let me run the code and show you how it works. So let me click on the run button here. So here when I click the run button, the server is started and the migrations have been made and applied, which we already studied. And then you see the home page loads here, which says welcome to the book manager, and this demo shows how to update a book's publication here. This all came from the home.html. Alright, now when I click on this, click here to run the update demo, it is actually going to call this views.py file. That is how it is set up in the urls.py file. I did not show you the urls.py file, but you can just check it out in this worked example. So it is set up in such a way that when we click this, that views will be called. So let me click on this and it says updated Django basics from 2018 to 2025. So if I look at the views.py file, you know that the Django basics, the book that was created, the publication year was 2018. And here we updated it to 2025. So Django automatically gave the ID 1 to this book because this was the first record. That is something Django does automatically. So this book with ID 1 was fetched and the publication year was changed from 2018 to 2025. So this message was displayed, which was also rendered to this update demo.html template, and that is what we see here on the screen. Alright, so that is how update works in Django. So this is an example where we have updated a single record. You can also try bulk updates and also the update and create using the practice problems that are available. Now let's go to the delete operation. Okay, so here I have another worked out example, which is to delete completed tasks from a to-do list. Now here again in the file explorer you can see we have a to-do project and an app called to-do app under this. Now this is the models.py file of the app, and if you look a closer look, we can see that we have a model called task which has title and the completed field. So title is a character field with max length 200 and completed is a boolean field whose default value is set to false. Now coming to the views.py file, you see we have a view or a function called task list which is used to create some sample entries in the database. So here we have created a few entries like title equal to buy groceries and the completed field is set to true, and then we have another one whose title is do laundry and the completed is set to false. So remember that this completed is a boolean field which can have values true or false. So our task is to write the code in such a way that we delete all these tasks where the completed flag is set to true. Alright, so after doing this, we are just putting all the tasks into this task object using this task.object all. I am taking all the things and putting it into this task, and I am rendering it to a task.html template. Okay, the task.html template is this, which is used to view the tasks and also to serve us as an interface. Okay, now let me come back to the views.py file, and here you see there is another view called delete completed tasks. Now this is the function that actually performs the deletion. Now remember, we want to delete the tasks where the completed flag is set to true. So we apply the filter here saying completed equal to true, task.objects.filter completed equal to true, then dot delete. So whichever task whose completed flag is set to true, those tasks will be deleted. Now after deleting, we are again fetching all the remaining tasks. So task.object.all will give all the remaining tasks, and that will be put into this task variable, and then we are just rendering it to the task.html template again so that we can view the remaining tasks as well. And then we have another view for the home page. Now the urls.py file are also there for the app and the project. You can take a look at it to see how the URLs are configured. So let me just run this code and show you how it works. So when I click on run, the server starts, the migrations are all applied, and here it says welcome to the to-do app. Now we have this view task link. If I click on this, it leads us to this to-do list page where all the tasks which are present are displayed. So all this is set up in the urls.py file. You can see how it takes us to the correct view and everything. Now I'm going to click on this delete completed task. So ideally this buy groceries which is completed and clean room which is completed should be gone. So when I click on this, you can see those tasks whose completed flag was set to true or which were completed are removed or deleted. Now only the remaining ones are shown over here. So that is what happened in the view. It deleted all the tasks whose completed is equal to true, and then the remaining tasks were fetched and they were rendered again to this same template. So this is how deletion works in Django. So here we see we have applied a filter and then use a delete option. You can also try the other delete methods that we have seen in the lesson. So again, come to the CodeChef platform and try the practice problems that are available for both updation and deletion in order to make the concept clear and make sure that you get a hands-on experience doing these tasks.
And that completes our full CRUD cycle in Django. You have learned how to create, read, update, and delete records using Django's ORM, all without touching a single line of SQL. These operations form the backbone of any web applications that interact with a database. Now, before moving on, make sure you try the practice problems available right here on the CodeChef platform. It'll help you to apply what you have learned hands-on. So keep practicing, and I will see you in the next lesson.